chat. So yeah, I'll just go over what me and sort of George was discussing possibly midweek, something like that last week. Um, so purely on a sort of like structure perspective. So there's a possible 4, 15, and 1 setup in here. So I'm currently on the 4 hour. So I believe obviously this is obviously the 4 hour structure, and I do believe it's eventually going to make a new high. But as it's sort of trended down here on the 4 hour, obviously it's made a couple of points of interest. This being one of them, could come lower still, but I'm hoping it's just going to come back a bit lower this week and tap in and then continue the high. So what what's basically happened is obviously it's made this point of interest here because it's not really taken any highs up here on the way. This is a major high, so that's probably a 15-minute pullback, 15-minute high, 15-minute new low. So it takes a major high at this point here, which would be then classed as sort of like the 4 hour break from here. It takes a major, it's an internal high, but it's still a major high. And then what it's done once it's come back to the point of interest, because all of this starts from this possibly starts from this order block in there. I think I might on the 1 hour. It's not really. It don't matter what time it's made on. It's the major part is that it's not taken this low here, and then it's shown signs of bullish price action. So obviously it's zigzagging down on. This is obviously 4 hour, but this was what I class as my 15-minute structure. So obviously here it's downtrend, so it's high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then it breaks a high and it's broken multiple highs. Hasn't quite taken this next major high, but I think that's going to be saved for this next move along here. So it's the same principle again. So obviously all the moves started from here. It took a major high, come back, mitigated it. It's then taken a lower time frame high, taken probably the last imbalance in this leg now up here, and now it's come back. It should hopefully come back to somewhere in this. And it has. I think it's possibly played out. George thinks not. So I'd be interested to see his deep dive analysis, but I'll take a look at it at the details in a minute. So basically, now it's taken the 15-minute high there, so it's come back, mitigated the order block that started that move. Now it's come back, and then it's possibly taken the 1 minute high, and hopefully it's going to come back in here and mitigate an entry of some sort. Right, so details. So I'll show you the 4 hour point of interest. This is it can be marked on any time frame. I think all I'm basically looking for is like a major low with a bit of imbalance. So I think I've got it marked on the 1 hour. Maybe two. Maybe not. Maybe two. I've marked it on a time frame anyway. I don't even know what I marked it on. That's just something. I've probably got 5 then because there's some imbalance in here. But anyway, basically, I'm looking for some imbalance to be filled. That's the important part. Obviously, it took liquidity as well. The trend line here, and it's obviously the start of the major move. So then we get to the 15-minute point. So obviously, price has come back. It's mitigated some in the red zone. that's so it's here. So obviously, this comes back, pretty much mitigates the lowest imbalance in that red zone, and then continues to break to the upside. So this is where this is where me and George are slightly different, I believe. So when I first sort of like made this strategy, I would have normally had my zone about about there because I'd have said that this is possibly imbalancing there. But this is why since then, obviously, I've started using lower time frames to spot the imbalances that we are possibly interested in. So what I've done is that imbalance here looks mitigated by that one. So looking for the next one up, which I'm saying this one here, this 1 minute up here. So I think this is the difference between me and George. I would have had my zone up here to this one, and I think George maybe has got his maybe there to that low there. But I'm only guessing. Obviously, you'll have to confirm that. But this is how that would have been how I used to mark it when I first sort of before I got to like the seconds chart. So, and then as you can see from that point, for me, this is just purely me. So, just show you that full thing again just before I zoom in on that next sort of phase. So, I want you to maybe try and understand the process of the structure to understand why we are both thinking that, pardon me, that we are possibly going to go long. Let's say point of interest breaks a major high to the left here, comes back, mitigates it, shows a lower time frame break to the upside, and then again, obviously, what we're going to go over now is when it comes back again, an even lower time frame. So that's the 4 hours saying it's going to go long, the 15 minutes turned long, and in here the 1 minute turned long, which means with the three, the larger, the medium, and the lower time frame all line up somewhere possibly around here. So possibly, like I say, I think it's played out, but that's possibly the move that causes like the huge buy up. And like I say, I think we're gonna at least come up for this imbalance in here, maybe if not take the high at some point, which would be a big hold still. But I think that's why we're seeing what I've just explained. What I think that's why we're seeing what appears to be like erratic price action, but it's just going through the process of is maybe telling like the institutions that maybe they view structure like I do. I don't know, but these are signals with these breaks, so it does that. It's coming back, and then if people get tight entries, like I say, it's either happened here or it's going to happen here. I believe. Obviously, there's no guarantee. So, I'll just go into this 1 minute sort of area. If there's any questions, by the way, please just jump in and ask away. So, because obviously, as I explained earlier, my 15-minute zone is possibly bigger than George's. So, it would have hit my zone if I'd have marked it sooner. Like I say, but I think this one here is where I think George maybe has his zone. So he's still anticipating that it will come lower still, which I kind of hope it does because then I can just wait for the 1 minute break to the upside again, and then I'll look to get in and we get another opportunity, I believe. So, but yeah, I think it's possibly played out. So as you can see, there's just yeah. So if mine's correct, like I say, we've hit the 15-minute zone. We've then broken to the upside. So there. It's about the. I'm not going to magnate it on cat. So yeah, as you can see, obviously here it takes a high thereabouts. So I think anything after any, let me try and word this right. So from this low to this point here, I'll highlight the whole area. All this price action here is a possible entry from what I believe this has played out. So, like literally all this side here, obviously it fills its own stuff as it's going as well. So, but anything that's not mitigated in there was possibly the buy entry. What I believe, and then obviously from there, it has mitigated one of these two imbalances, which we will take a look at. So obviously from that point, you can see there's two quite nice candles here. So there's a huge imbalance there. Two decent candles either side here. Can't remember which one is mitigated, but if I'd have had the rest of that process marked up 2 weeks ago, I'd have happily stuck an entry on both of these. I think I've spoke about this before, but some of you might not have been on my lives at that point. So I firmly believe that that's 74. I think that's like 7.4 pips. I'd much rather stick two entries on and keep the whole zone tighter than covering one larger move. Because I think we worked it out actually. If you do, let's say if you had something like that, you covered something like that, get the same stop loss. I think financially it works out better to half risk these, like do say if you do 1%, risk what 0.5% on that one, 0.5% on that one. If this one loses and you catch this one, the risk to reward benefit far outweighs just sticking this one big entry on and yeah, just having a bigger entry zone. Like I said, splitting it and getting the zone tighter gives you a bigger return. Obviously, there'll be a point where if it don't go that far, I'm sure like 1 to 2s or 3s don't really make that much difference, I guess. But yeah, I much prefer to split the risk and keep two separate zones. But obviously, the important part is that there's a huge imbalance here, and what I really like is the down pushes as well. So I think obviously when I'm looking for an imbalance for an entry, I'm not just purely looking for this buy side. Obviously, we'll talk about buys now. So talking buys, I much prefer to see like a sharp down push as well beforehand, which obviously we've got on both of these. So both of them are what I'd consider really good possible zones. Don't think there's much else below. So I don't like this.
What's going on there, Lee?
You are sorry.
What do you think is going on there? What's the reason behind that's price manipulation, the push down, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll say that
So
again.
I know what you mean. What do I
Yeah,
think it is basically?
I'm trying to work it out. What's going on?
So what I think it is, if you think about how, say, like the stock markets used to be traded on the New York Stock Exchange, so there'd be they called it the pit. So you'd have like hundreds of traders or whatever. I think so. If you imagine you was there and you see JP Morgan put an order on for say 100 million, like everybody else in the room has just seen the big boy put in a trade. They don't know which way he's gone, but maybe they're going to chance it because they've got a 50-50 chance if they think he knows something else. So I think it's possibly something along them lines that it's other players that have seen an order go in from a big company
Right.
and then maybe
Okay.
chat. So and obviously it's
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah. I mean that's only theory. I've got no idea, but that's what I can't think of any other reason why
Yeah.
that would sort that would
You
make
set me
sense to
thinking
me.
now. You ever read
Yeah.
Flash Boys?
No. No.
Flash Boys is about high frequency trading. It's in shares, but it's about how the high frequency traders get in the way. They can see an order coming and they get in first,
Yeah.
and take a scrape off. So they buy quickly and sell on because
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
their servers are closer to the exchange's servers than the customer
Yeah.
servers and things like that. Yeah, yeah, that's a good theory. I think that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've no idea if I'm right, but
Yeah, it's good, guys.
what I kind of do is I kind of make stories that obviously I think about everything that I've sort of like done in trading and added to my trading plan is I've I've sort of like thought about it for possible days or weeks at sometimes going, what do I
Yeah,
think's happening there? And then sort of make a story to sort of suit it. Because then,
yeah. No, but
yeah,
that's okay. That's
yeah,
that's how we
it's
figure it
about the
out. It
best.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's about the best I can sort of come up because I do remember I'm sure I listened to I used to listen to a lot of like trading podcasts as well, and I'm sure some bloke said that when to see someone big putting a big order in, they would see other people just randomly start change. So like if someone shout like obviously if there's a room of 100 and they're all shouting their own
Yeah,
thing, then like say some bloke I'm sure some bloke said well, like when one of the big boys put a massive order in, everybody sort of like started changing what they was doing, and then they would start shouting something else because there was just like I said, they were just taking a punt, I guess. So
yeah,
I sort of guess I've maybe used that sort of idea and put it into forex rather than the stock exchange. But and obviously
yeah.
there's no trading floor for forex as far as I believe, but it kind of makes sense, you know.
Yeah, but there's computers watching computers doing stuff
Yeah,
in
yeah,
microseconds that we don't know. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's that, mate, but no evidence to back it up. So
it's all right. It's good fun to talk about, isn't it?
oh, absolutely, mate. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then obviously after it breaks for 1 minute, which obviously is up here, it then comes back and mitigates one of them, I believe. Yeah, the top one. And obviously it's gone since. It's coming back now, I believe. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I think that was like I say, I think we'll maybe come back a bit higher than that entry, maybe, and maybe get another opportunity. But I mean, that's gone. That went 129. And obviously it's just then come and filled some lovely imbalance in there. Um, that's obviously the basis of the 415 one. Obviously, I don't really trade that these days. I don't. What I tend to do now is obviously I'll work out, let's say, the 15-minute structure. I still draw like the 4 and the 15 and the 1, but I'd take a trade from here. I'd take a trade on this pullback as well. Because now that I'm obviously because I speak about structure like pretty much every day. Um, like I say, I used to wait for these moves, and like sometimes it take fucking years to actually play out from start to finish. So from that being created to it coming back, it's like 62 days. If it comes back, it'd be like 80, 90 if it comes back and actually gives what George believes to be will happen. So, well, like say nowadays, it's I'm still trying to find these big moves, I guess, which is why I still draw the structures. But now that I mainly focus more on the 15-minute structures, and then if we get like say a 1 minute change of character at this low, I'll get in there, and then if I think the 4 hours at a low point, obviously I tend to hold it longer. If I catch a buy from say here, I won't hold it as long as I would consider holding this one from down here because I know we're a couple of swings in. Obviously, it's getting close to that the previous this high as well, so I know there's a chance it would either mitigate it or take it, but you're never too sure. But yeah, like that's sort of what I'm doing now. But obviously, everything's about the same anyway. So it's obviously I use liquidity and sweeps and breaks of structure as a confirmation, and obviously imbalance fills. So it's it's all basically the 4:15 and how I trade in that. Obviously, what I try and teach you guys is it's basically the same. I cut out the whole process of waiting for multiple time frame breaks or structure. I'll maybe focus on, like I said, a 15:1, and I'll use the four. I'll introduce the four as to decide if I want to hold for a few weeks or just a day or two. Do you know? So I'm more aware of where I am in all of the time frame as such, rather than waiting weeks for this to come back. Which is why, obviously, well, that's why I tended to look at 30 odd pairs as well, because I've got plenty of time to mark all this, or had plenty of time to mark all this. So when I say that was 60 odd days from that to that coming back and playing out, like you can manage 30 pairs at that point because you just set an alert at that point. What after that touching, and it don't come back to you set an alert sort of thing. So managing 30 plus pairs was relatively simple at that point. Um, so yes, my prediction for gold is that anyway. Okay. Going to come a little bit lower, fill some sort of imbalance. I don't think this is a huge news wick. I don't know if I'd like it to go a bit lower than that, I think, and then show signs of bullish intent.
I think Sean's been most of the week waiting for it to come down there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
he
bet
will,
his
yeah.
house on it.
Yeah, he will, mate, yeah. I'm probably gonna say like we're gonna maybe create some form of trend line in here. Not quite, but I'm assuming we'll build up liquidity somewhere, and that's exactly it. Obviously, I don't know until it happens. Obviously, can't do, but like I say, we might get a touch in there, sweep, break, mitigation, entry, and something like that maybe. But yeah, that's me sort of prediction for gold. So I think we're going to be a bit bearish for a day or two, maybe three. But then obviously, I do think we're aiming for all time highs. Well, I think we're definitely coming up to these imbalances anyway. Um, I'll leave them on. Is there any questions on that, peoples? Are you still in the bath, Tom? It's the real important stuff to know.
I thought it was fishing today.
Well, yeah, he has put his maggot in the water, so you're just listening. Yeah, knows, mate. We talk a lot about structure on here, Tom, so this might go over your head a little bit, mate.
Mm.
Um, take a look at NJ Mac because
I don't know what's going on with there. At least I'm glad it reacted out of where I picked. That was
yeah, yeah,
nice. That's good enough for me. I'm happy with that. That's cool.
yeah, yeah,
I'd probably sell it here if I'd actually kept his order. I'd probably sold it by
yeah,
now and taken my 3R and nudged my way towards my
yeah.
evaluation pass.
I don't think I would have held it personally myself too long because I do think it's possible coming lower.
Yeah.
Um, so I know you had your. Let me just draw a line before I
Yeah, but
talk. So
all my stuff is a little bit finger in the air, Lee, so yeah,
yeah,
I don't have strong conviction about any of this. It's a bit blind darts.
yeah. What I do think, mate, is I think you've got your 15-minute low here, I believe.
Yeah, it's a bit random. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did speak about this, but not on a video, in a message. So just
You wrote it up. No, you wrote it up on the channel.
yeah, that's right. So I've got this as a 15-minute pullback because mainly because we've got a couple of well, yeah, two swings
Yeah.
on what I would class as the 1 minute. So that's definitely what I'd class as a pullback. But then I think from there we only get bullish swings. There's no lows being taken from what I would consider a like external structure. So obviously, I've drawn out here. Let me change it a bit more. Yeah, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. I mean, it gets a bit iffy around here, but still no high is taken, so no low is taken. So high, low, high, low, high. So yeah, possible break here.
Yeah, I've got
Which
new low. Yeah,
yeah, so it's but that's why I think I've got the lowers here, mate. So like I
yeah.
say,
I think
two bearish swings.
the 4 hours bearish as well. I think I was just
Yeah,
practicing really.
yeah. No,
Um,
I mean, it's a good markup. It's just, and to be fair, mate, like I understand why you would say that that's possibly low. I mean, you could argue that's maybe two swings. So it's
we have to look at it now.
it's
You
one of
actually can't remember. It was a while ago. It was a couple of weeks
yeah,
ago now. Uh,
it was one of these two anyway that you had as a 50, so it must have been that or that you had as a 15-minute low, and I was just
yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
right.
know.
I did that. I was gonna. Why did I do that? Oh, because that's the first that high to the right, the 17th of June. That's the high that breaks the 13th of May. To
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah,
be fair, that's not actually correct because I can see now that's wrong.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't mark it correctly actually, to be fair.
yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not. I mean, I'm not 100% sure myself. Do you know,
Sure.
it's one of them. But all I'm thinking is if this is one whole 15-minute structure, then we've got a lot of price action below here that we might mitigate.
Yeah.
But like I say, it has built up liquidity, it has taken it, and we have seen, although it's super low, we have seen a break to the upside as well. So it might be. I mean, if I'd have got in it, like I say, it'd have been one that I probably wouldn't hold really past the day, sort of thing, because of the uncertainty. But
Yeah.
if we do catch say a buy, if it comes back down here into this real tight bottom zone, then I would be saying, yeah, hold that. I'd be definitely tempted to hold that to take this trend line up here because then that would mean this is because that might be the
Oh,
15
that's
minute
cool. I haven't got that trend
pullback.
line.
Because then, yeah, that might well pull back deep into this because this is, like I say, I think this is definitely a 50-minute pullback. So if it comes deep in this pullback flow, it might well mitigate something in there. Obviously, do a 1 minute change of character or not draw it out, and then come and take this trend line. So but this is why I say knowing where you are in a structure is important because
Yeah.
if you can buy from here, you're like that's a good possible move. But if you're buying from mid range,
Yeah.
it's a bit riskier, obviously. So
Yeah.
you know
Yeah, for sure.
that's why we should always know where we are in the structure swings. And like I say, I think you said the 4 hours bearish, didn't you? So
Let's have a
yeah,
look.
yeah. But then that sets us up for obviously because we are 15-minute bullish at the minute. So a buy from low, take a new high. Obviously, I think it might sell off from this zone here the other week. It might obviously
Yeah.
come high, it might come higher, but then again, if we pull up in there and start seeing obviously bearish signs again,
A nice
we
sell
might
is what I was looking for actually. This
yeah
is just a prep, the setup for the sell, hopefully.
yeah
Oh yeah.
yes. So I think we're 15-minute mid range of the swing.
Yeah, I agree.
Buy from a bit lower, and then if once it comes up here, big sells are possibly on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that makes
because then
sense.
obviously if it comes up high in here, that like I say you've got 4 hour bearish high up in the range.
Yeah.
If you can wait for a 50-minute break structure, that'd be ideal. But I'm pretty sure we all have got the uh, patience for that these days. So So yeah, but yeah, like I say, we'll get 1 minute change of character. It's somewhere in here, probably in all this somewhere, and you can just get an earlier entry. But obviously, it's worth noting. So if we look back at the gold, I'll just refer back to it because there's a full 415 one there. It's a good example to show you. So with the NJ, obviously, if it pulls back deep into the 4 hour, which is what this would then be, it breaks the 15, so you can catch a 1 minute change of character and entry in there. But you're going to have to, once it breaks the 15, you're going to be dealing with huge pullbacks. So if you're considering holding anything anyway,
Yeah,
I know some of you do, some of you won't, but yeah, if you're considering holding, like say, getting in a stage early means you've got big pullbacks. So, and you won't want to be, that must be, if you got a tight entry on that, like I said, that's probably 100 odd fold. So, I mean,
what
I
we
wouldn't
want.
say, yeah, you won't want to pull back
Well,
to,
I want one of them. I want one of them. Real
yeah,
test of character.
yeah,
Hold it for a week. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's my goal. My sense of
yeah,
purpose, I would say.
yeah.
I
Well,
want 100 to 1 trade one day.
yeah, 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 yeah. The thing is, mate, they are they are quite plenty. It's not like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
can see
don't.
them on the chart. You,
Yeah, yeah,
you just
yeah,
can't see them. You can't see them in advance. It's easier to
yeah,
see them
yeah,
afterwards. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
hundreds of them. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Especially George with because I think he gets some stupid tight entries as well. He's
yeah.
far more like he's far more aggressive than I am. Like I'll do like three. I think the lowest I've had a 1.5 pip entry before, which was nice, but it's a rarity. You know, it's got to be if I'm taking out like that short, it's got to be like EU, GU, or GU or something with no spreads, pretty much. And
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, George
I don't know
has some
what George is doing.
insane stuff.
He's another level.
Yeah, he is, mate. Yeah, I agree.
I've started. His markup is so quite intricate. I've
Yeah,
decided I'm going to skip them for the time being and go
yeah,
stay with the
yeah,
simpler ones because I'm not learning anything from it. So
yeah,
better I'll keep my brain clear, keeping it
yeah,
simpler.
yeah.
Fine.
Well, like I know we all say like everyone trades a little bit different, and
Oh yeah,
it's true because like we're all actually looking for the same thing. Obviously, me, George, you, but George,
yeah.
I look at George's setups sometimes. I think, what the fuck is that he's looking at? You know, sorry for swearing anyway, but yeah, I
So
look at him, and go,
yeah,
what the hell is he seeing there? But you
I
see,
don't know where he gets it from. Don't know.
well, what I think what it is he's spotting trend lines that are often the opposite way to what I'm looking for. So if I'm say looking for a trend line under here, he's found one up here and then got in to go beyond it, sort of thing. You know, so he's
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just clever.
he's just like I say, he's spotting the. It
He has a
appears like
brilliant
he's
head for
spotting the.
detail. I think brilliant head
Yeah,
for detail
yeah,
and memory.
yeah. He's another level, that guy. Probably, I think he imagines better than me, to be fair, but he just don't want to teach us, I guess.
It's just all you get is abuse for that, Lee.
Hey,
All you get is abuse if you become a teacher.
it's true.
You don't get any
Yeah.
thanks for it.
No, I don't. If I remember what I can't remember. I think it was CHF JPY, and I was 30. I think I was 38 fold up, and I says, "Oh, I think I might move into profit a little bit," and everyone called me gay.
That's the way. Yeah, you started
Yeah,
that day.
I did. Yeah, but I was like, "Well, that's not fair," because like it's not like I'm 2 hour up, and I was like,
No,
I'm
I agree with you.
38. I was
It's completely
38 fold up,
reasonable. Yeah,
and I
keep it.
only moved it to like 12, so it was
Yeah.
like, you know. But yeah,
No,
everyone's like, you gay." All right, I won't. I moved it back.
don't
Yeah,
understand people moving stop to break even on a 2 hour trade. I mean, come on.
yeah,
Gird
yeah,
your loins a bit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No offense, Tom.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Oh no, no,
Um,
yeah, no. So I thought we were taking. Sorry, I forgot. We're not actually taking a piss out of 2 hour trades. It's
no,
moving stop.
I'm,
It's
I'm
moving
not.
stop losses, isn't it? Yeah,
It's moving stop losses.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah, this is obviously. I'll show
I'm
you
gonna get in
again.
trouble now. I'm gonna get in trouble now because I'm doing so much
Yeah,
different stuff.
yeah. You're doing his
Right.
back test. You're doing his back testing. So you've got an
No,
incoming
it's not
one.
Tom's. It's not Tom's. I don't mean Tom's. No,
Ah,
he like me. He doesn't move. He says, "No, we hold these to two regardless."
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's listening, but that's true. Honestly, I'm not making it up.
yeah, yeah. I can't imagine. I think unless you're really scalping, then I think moving your stop loss is always negative. I don't understand. I mean, to me, obviously, it's other than being gay, obviously, it's you're not giving your trade the chance to play out, so it's
Yeah,
very often detrimental to your
I think it's a
profits and margin.
psychological trap as well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because you start being soft on yourself.
yeah,
Yeah, and then you move it a bit earlier, then you move it a bit earlier, and then you move it a bit earlier.
yeah,
Because it's really avoiding stress. It's stress avoidance, really, isn't it? There's a
yeah, yeah,
difference when you're 35 up. What you're doing is protecting profit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When
In
you're
my defense as
1.5
well,
up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. In my defense as well, like my trading plans actually, I can make a decision like that after 12. So
Yeah.
38 was a bit beyond that, Joe. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it was all right in the end anyway. It made no odds. But I'd have been really annoyed with myself if it had have like wicked me stop profit and then gone to TP anyway. I'd have been so annoyed with myself. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Fascinating how different people see it differently.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Here's a just glance you over. Obviously, I know it's not a 4:15 such system live tonight, but it's what obviously I'm trying to do by showing you is obviously that if you can obviously I don't expect anyone to learn all this and trade it. Obviously, it's a very much a patience game, but obviously by showing you obviously the different time frames and the structure breaks, it it does often because obviously because we wait for a 1 minute change of character for an entry. Obviously, we say that the same pattern forms on all time frames. So obviously, I use the 4, 15, and 1. So when obviously here we've had a 4 hour breaker structure. We zoom in here, we've had a 15-minute breaker structure. So there'd have been a 15-minute high because we've had a high, low, high, low. So 15-minute break there. And I'm pretty gutted I missed this move, to be fair. But it is what it is. So yeah, 4 hour break to the upside, comes back, mitigates the whole lowest imbalance. 15-minute break, comes back, 1 minute break, somewhere in there, no doubt. So we actually get obviously multiple opportunities to actually take these trades because obviously we don't always just get in on the like I say at the minute I'm not teaching how to pardon me not teaching how to do the 4:15 I'd get in on each 15-minute swing or whatever if I could as long as it gives obviously confirmations. But yeah, as you see we get a high, so 1 minute break over there. And then obviously come back and mitigate something from all this jazz. These are these maybe might not be able to take any of them. But yeah, so largely based around structure, guys. Um, but as you can see, it's a powerful system as well, even the 4:15 So if you are patient enough to wait for the actual whole process, because I don't know what that mitigated, so I can't tell you what its the risk to reward was, but well, well, that's maybe. Ahmet Blundell would have been creaming at that because he'd have said that's a resistance zone or something.
Yeah, he got excited.
Yeah, he would have. I think, obviously, just at a glance, I'm sure the range would have been that. So, yeah, I'd definitely been in that. 7 pitheads, so I'd have been 2.5 at least, I think, on Euro Chef. So I'd have been safe for that. It's weird because when you zoom in so far and you see like that on the 10 second, that looked miles away from what I would have put the entry at. But then, like I say, it's 7 pipettes, so it'd be well safe with an entry. Yeah, but I sometimes forget that your looks like a massive entry and realize it's actually not. It's read it for a while. It's just about 60 fold.
That
Not too
do.
shabby. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. 2 weeks for hold. But like I say, it's
Yeah, that would be a struggle. I think 3 days is my record.
yeah. Well, three's good, mate. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I'd congratulate anyone on holding for 6 to 8 odd hours, to be honest, because it's not easy, and you've got to be confident in your target and things. So yeah, I, I understand it's difficult. It's but like it's. I mean, I don't think I'm comfortable with it. You just learn to deal with it. It never, I
yeah,
don't really get easy as such, but like if I'd have caught that, then I'd have been fairly confident because I know the system. Like I say, from from this 4 hour structure, it's broken the high, pulled back well, very deep. Obviously, give more confirmations. We're possibly going to get a new 4 hour high. Obviously, there'll be there'll be stuff in here that causes pullbacks and things like that. But and obviously, it'd be nice if we had like liquidity to target of some sort. You know, some form of trend line or whatever. I guess is an extra bit of comfort. But yeah, I mean, like obviously this setup that I've covered on a couple of different pairs now. Like I could show you that a
so you
hundred
like
times.
that super steep, like steep trend line there? You find those all right? What was I looking at a minute ago? I've got one where literally I've got a trend line like pointing up to the sky.
Yeah, yeah.
And I go, no one's ever going to get that.
Mm,
But it's very clear. I mean, it's definitely there.
yeah,
It was back on NZDJPY. Um,
yeah. It's I do. I mean,
deeper than that,
I
probably.
ain't got an angle of degree that I would go "Yeah, that's like beyond what I'd
It,
accept, but I do.
it's a question of how high prices got to go to get to it.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, I'll probably obviously I didn't. If it was here, if price was around here, well, obviously this would have been when I set it. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, that would have been reasonable because we could have seen a shoot up and then
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever, But now I'm assuming that that's never could. But it's unlikely it's going to actually reach that now. It, and I think if price does come up here, it would probably create a different and possibly a better trend line from somewhere a bit shallower anyway. So yeah, I'll delete that now anyway. I think it's gone. So, but yeah, it's all obviously it's all about where the market is. If it was close to it, obviously that
Then it could
sets it
just nip up
up.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I've got a few like that, to be fair, that you would look at and go, it's questionable now. Um, but yeah. Yeah. I used to love Euro GBP, by the way. Maybe 2.5 years ago, it was my favourite pair. Then it went dog shit for a long time.
Yeah, you lot told me it was too slow to trade.
Yeah, for the last year
Not
or
just one
so.
of you, like half a I was really
Yeah,
proud of my markup a few months ago, and you'll go, oh, don't trade that.
yeah. No, it's I mean, it has its moments, but like I say,
Right.
I think for large periods of last year, and it was very, like around this section here. Look,
Okay, there's
that's a
not much you can
long,
do with that, is there?
yeah. What's that? Pretty much, pretty much January, isn't it? January 24 to April. So touching on what, five
Yeah,
months
there's
of
nothing happening
five
there.
months
Yeah.
of that, yeah. But obviously, it's just
Yeah,
creating liquidity. So you know,
I looked at that this week, and I really liked the way it moved.
what's that? Sorry,
The the
Euro
Europe,
GBP, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I was
Well,
like,
this
oh,
is,
I could understand it.
yeah,
Yeah, it made a lot of sense to me.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's
Uh,
obviously I only had my eyes drawn to it because obviously I was trying to sell it, but I think I was away when it was. Yeah, I think Peter Hanscom posted something about it, and then I see this, I was like, right, I'll watch that. And then I missed it because I was away.
yeah,
I think I was packing my bags actually, and just forgot about it. But again, like
Nice.
this is it stems from one of my 415 ones, so obviously this point of interest causes a major break, the 4 hour. It comes back, mitigates it, breaks on the 15. It came back, mitigated it, broke on the one. It also did the 15 as well, and then come back. So we've possibly got, whether it does like a 4 hour low is a completely different question, but it's caused a decent amount of pips in the obviously desired direction. So obviously it's reached 140, about 150 pips ish. Yeah, just shy of 150 pips. So obviously it's not an amount that I would tear my nose up at as a 50 nearly, you know. So yeah, it's I don't know if we've taken that next.
yeah. I've got my eye on that 1 minute high there.
That one up
Um,
here.
yeah, yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna look at it, just see
yeah.
what happens.
I would definitely wait for confirmations on it. Please don't just get in.
Okay, so wait for it to come down.
Yeah.
And
So,
then,
well, because just what I'm trying to do is, if I can make a better trend line than this, because what we might have done is we might have, obviously there might be liquidity somewhere in here. I'll find it in a minute, but then
mm,
we've possibly swept it. If we look in here, this is a big push, so we've possibly mitigated something in here that it would have wanted. This
mm,
area caused this high to be taken, so we could that could be a sweep. And now if it breaks this high, so if it goes from there and does this, because it might just
mm.
rocket through, it then might come back to buy. It might come back to buy up from there to then
Okay, yeah, yeah.
obviously come up. So it,
Mm.
this is obviously I'd have to find a better trend line in there to show you, but obviously if it's filled something here, this has done something over here. This is whatever it's mitigated in here is pretty much a prime zone to buy from basically. So
Mm.
also I have to double check. So I was just on the 4 hour and I was assuming a little bit like um, but it has just taken this low, so it has tapped something in here. Obviously, I'm not telling you what to do either. Do you know? If your trading plan says that get in at that point, obviously do it. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm
Um,
just if you're unsure, if you're still like building your trading plan and strategy or whatever, then err on the side of caution, please.
yeah,
Basically,
probably just mark it out for now and just
yeah,
just see what happens.
yeah. Well, I mean that's makes perfect sense because you can take photos and journal that, and then you start noticing patterns and you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, this might well still come lower because it looks like there's decent imbalances to target anyway. So I don't really see much else in there, to be fair. But screen, yeah, like I say, we've got to see what happens from here anyway. Yeah, obviously, it is very likely it could come well lower anyway. Because we've had the 415 set up. It's a very reliable system. So, oh,
Yeah, it's a trend line. It's a trend line on the 15, you can see.
there
Let's
is
just make sure it's spot on. Yeah, well, the middle touch a tiny bit short. The left hand end is 30th of July, 9:30 p.m. Bugger, right hand end is spread out. I hate that one. But it was good until I noticed it was spread
yeah,
out.
yeah,
That's so often. It really annoys me. It's because they're always prominent lows and highs spread out.
yeah, they are,
On
yeah,
the 15, they're always really easy to see, so you naturally draw them. You know, I'm on a mission now. Once I get my teeth into something
yeah.
else, I can usually find something.
Just
No, can't find one at the moment.
yeah, maybe not then. Maybe not.
Yeah, I haven't got one. Come down there. Let's see what happens. Good to
Yeah,
watch that. It's good to have what we can all look at
yeah,
and come back
yeah.
to it
Well,
next week, can't we? And see what's happened.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth keeping your eye on. So, I mean, obviously for Ellen, I think I told her obviously the other day that add a few pairs in just for back testing purposes anyway. Because if you obviously she trades just gold or was purely for back testing purposes. Like I say, you can scroll back on any pair and find several trades, so you could effectively trade back test, sorry, 10 trades a night, 5, 6, 7 days a week if you wanted. Whereas if you're just waiting for live price action, you're going to catch two a week maybe. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can definitely speed up like your eyes by
Mhm.
back testing multiple pairs. Like I say, you don't have to trade them, but it's the same thing. Like
To try
obviously,
and find it.
yeah, I don't believe your system should just work on gold.
No. Got a few
Depending,
more players on my watch list now, so
yeah,
variety is the spice of life, as we say.
yeah, yeah. And what you'll, I think a lot of people that trade gold anyway tend to trade EU and GU as well because obviously they're all
Mhm. Mhm.
about correlated in a way. Obviously they're all the dollar, I guess. So
Euro USD, do you mean, yeah?
Yeah, Euro USD
Yeah.
and GBP USD. I
Okay.
don't really look at them these days, but I'm aware
Okay.
that people that trade gold often use EU and
Mm,
GU if gold's a
okay.
bit slow or crappy. And obviously the spreads are good as well, so you know, always a benefit not to give money away. So
Mm.
yeah. Right, I'll call it there, guys and
Well,
lady.
thank you.
If there's anything, any questions, please just give me a shout. I'm always about.
Cool.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Lee.
Cheers, catch you all in the week.
Cool.
Good week. Have a good
Bye.
week. See you guys.